Do you have a sworn vendetta against the rich and setting your boss's $30 million mansion wasn't enough? Let's all laugh at the wealthy with 2022's Oscar-nominated black comedy, which follows the misadventures of a celebrity couple and their wealthy guests inside a luxury yacht. Welcome to Rapid Movie Recaps. Please subscribe, like, and turn notifications on. Help support our channel by checking our merchandise down below. The Oscar nominee opens with a bunch of shirtless models inside a room. The director asks various questions to different models, including our main protagonist, Carl. Now, Carl is just a simple guy. He's rich, attractive, and he has the body that even the gods are jealous of. After spending time at Carl's workplace, we go over to his girlfriend, Yaya. She's a model and influencer. She is an entitled hot chick who worries about her calories. That's on full display on their date when the check comes and Yaya immediately thanks Carl for paying. Plot twist. Carl doesn't want to settle into society's norms and pay for the dinner. After an argument about who's paying the bill, Yaya tries to pay. Unfortunately, Yaya turns into an entitled hot chick who happens to be broke. No need to worry as Carl handles the bill after all. Still, Yaya's entitlement adds tension to the rest of their evening. It results in a hilarious blow-up from Carl in the elevator. Later, Yaya comes clean. She never had any intention of paying for the date. She doesn't even love him. She's simply dating the model because it earns her likes on social media. Classic influencer. Carl declares that he will get Yaya to fall in love with him. Fast forward to the luxury cruise. Carl and Yaya have been invited to a super yacht in exchange for its social media promotion. Among the cast of rich socialites, there's Russian oligarch Dmitry and his wife Mara, elderly couple Clementine and Winston. They made their riches by manufacturing weapons. Therese, who can only speak a single sentence in German following a stroke. And Jarmo, Carl's competition for Yaya. He's a lonely tech millionaire. Of course, we can't forget about the incredible staff who live to serve the rich. The head of the crew, Paula, doesn't want to hear no from anyone. It doesn't matter how absurd their requests might be, all that's important is that huge tip. One of the insane requests is that every crew member should take a swim in the sea. As you can imagine, that's a terrible idea, especially for the kitchen crew, who warns that the food will spoil if it isn't cooked immediately. But as a wise old crab once said, we shall never deny a guest even the most ridiculous request. So everyone's having a good time. Never mind the fact that doom is set for these rich and non-rich commoners. However, Carl isn't having much of a good time. That's because Yaya finds a crew member's glistening muscles and hairy abs oh so hot. So naturally, he gets the guy fired. Jealousy is great, isn't it? In the meantime, the yacht's captain, Thomas Smith, is an alcoholic who refuses to come out of his room. Paula persuades him to sober up and attend the captain's dinner. The captain meets his super rich clients, and the oddest thing about it is that he likes cheeseburgers. Who wouldn't want to eat a good octopus tail? The scene builds with the storm getting worse and the rich getting sick. Perhaps they shouldn't have asked the kitchen crew to go swim with them. Most of the rich vomit left and right and leave the room in a panic. But the night only gets better. As everyone is vomiting and crapping out of their lovely meals, the storm has caused the toilet to overflow. During all this chaos, Thomas and Dmitry are insanely drunk. So they spout nonsense about communism and capitalism through the intercom. Oh, and they tell everyone that they're going to die. To make the night even better, the power goes out. Several guests were injured. The sewage floods the rooms and hallways, and the storm seems out for revenge based on the way it's rocking the boat. Thankfully, the chaos ends in the morning, but a group of pirates attack. Clementine and Winston are killed with a grenade. The pirates jump on board, and all you can hear is screaming and gunshots before the tail end of the yacht explodes. A few hours later, we catch up with Jarmo and Yaya on an island with the latter knocked out. Jarmo is trying to figure out life in his wet yet clean suit. Suddenly, Yaya's nipple pops out. The luck of the rich is astounding. Jarmo hears a group of people coming toward the island and he checks it out. Paula rushes out of the other end of the island and they help the lifesaver boat. Confusion and paranoia are rampant as the survivors are trying to understand their situation. Paula is trying to calm everyone down. The remaining survivors on the island are Carl, Yaya, Dmitry, Therese, Paula, Jarmo, and Nelson. Despite being rich, none of these millionaires know the first thing about surviving the wilderness. Paula is the captain here. Well, until Abigail is discovered in a lifeboat. The cleaning lady is friendly at first, providing food, fire, and water. However, Abigail notices that she's the only one with survival skills on the island. When it comes time to share the fish she caught, Abigail keeps a good portion to herself. Paula tries to convince her to share more food, but Abigail refuses. She then gets everyone to agree that she's the captain now. Everyone except Paula does it with ease. Paula, Yaya, and Abigail sleep inside the lifeboat. Dimitri, Therese, Carl, Jarmo, and Nelson brave the wilderness outside. Carl and Nelson aren't pleased with Abigail forcing them to stay out in the dangerous woods. So when they see pretzels sticking out of her bag, those knuckleheads go to town with that food alongside Therese. Abigail quickly notices in the morning. Carl and Nelson deny it, but the pretzel bag was found a few seconds later on the ground. This puts them in the doghouse. Carl and Nelson must now fend for themselves when it comes to food and water. The next night, Carl and Nelson simply watch everyone else eat. Yaya gives Carl the cold shoulder. However, Abigail becomes smitten with the handsome model. She commands that only Carl can sleep in a lifeboat with her tonight. In translation, she's planning to get busy with a Balenciaga model. Yaya knows this and isn't happy. She talks to Carl before he heads into the lifeboat and demands that he doesn't have sex with her. Carl agrees, take a wild guess on what happens. Carl benefits from his sexual adventures with Abigail. However, the not-so-well-kept secret pisses off Yaya even more, but Carl considers leaving her for Abigail. Meanwhile, Jarmo kills a wild donkey. The gang celebrates their big feast around the fire. Yaya notices that Carl is touching Abigail in her naughty parts. She calls him out in front of everyone. Carl denied it, but it was clear what he was doing. Yaya goes up to Jarmo and kisses him before leaving the festivities. Abigail and Carl talk about their relationship, and he's torn on his feelings. Yaya decides to take a hike, and Abigail volunteers to go with her so they can chat. It's a bit awkward between Yaya and Abigail. The girls make a huge discovery. They find a beachside elevator and realize they're near a luxury resort. Yaya celebrates, but Abigail isn't so overjoyed. She goes off to pee. However, Abigail has other plans in mind. She picks up a rock to attack Yaya. She hesitates, but Yaya is oblivious to this. Yaya promises a better job for Abigail, such as being her assistant. Back in the jungle, Carl frantically runs towards Yaya and Abigail. Will he stop his new beau from committing a heinous crime? We'll never know because the film ends with that big cliffhanger. This movie can be purchased at the link in the description below. Thank you for watching.